Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher of Realms, and yes, you are looking at a Nightmare 4 score. 174k, and you could see that I just broke my highest record, getting ready to show you these results at the beginning of this video. And I'm going to show you how to do this and how I got this done today. Anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Okay, so here we are on Nightmare 4, and just a little bit of a history lesson with Nightmare 4. When I started playing Watcher of Realms, hitting 50k was a very serious achievement. It was very difficult to hit 50k. There's a lot of things that have changed that, but I just want to reiterate that how hard it was. I was making guides and using test server, and I think, you know, some of us were hitting like 50, 60, 70k at most. With the test server back in the day. So being able to come into it now, and you can see how much power creep there actually is with some of these heroes, but also what we've learned as we've gone along. There's been some tools that have been unlocked, especially things like bleeds and vulnerabilities and damage increases, rage regen, all sorts of stuff. And this team is actually going to be really easy to use. Okay, so it's not going to be a team where you got to be pulling all these heroes on in and off the map. But a fair warning, these heroes are highly awakened. A lot of them are. The gear that they're wearing is phenomenal. I actually want to boast that I don't want to say I may have one of the best built Kigiris on the game. Just very close to it. It's not going to be up there in like top 10 probably or something like that, but it is definitely up there top notch. I've put a lot of effort into building my Kigiri the way that he is built. Obviously, he's going to be in here. He's my favorite hero. And even though the Sumu Kong doesn't have quite as much effort, he is also really well built. We're going to go over all that here. All right, so let's go into the fight here, and I'll show you the team here and kind of break this down. And there is a lot of room for improvement here. Right now, I think the top score on the global leaderboard is right around 220k. We come in right around 170 to 180 range generally. There's something that could be improved. The big ones are going to be higher awakenings on Lord Phineas, also higher awakenings on Ireless, and Soul Cadence could also be awakened level 3. But as far as the gear goes, I think at this stage that I'm at in the game, I couldn't possibly bring the gear to a much better, higher level. The only thing that could happen is something like a really top tier Cataclysm set on Kigiri and Sumu Kong, and the odds of that actually happening are so rare that it's just not worth the hassle right now. I can put up pretty good builds, but as far as doing that, I'm not gonna be able to do that. All right, so Leia. What is Leia doing? She's offering some healing. She also brings in some damage increase. She also has this really cool artifact here. When the ultimate is triggered, there's a 100% chance to grant one of the following buffs to all allies. Attack speed increases by 60, rage regen increases by 30, and crit damage increases by 30%. The applied buff lasts until the end of the ultimate. This is one of the main reasons that I'm using Leia, but not the only reason. She also has Kigiri and Sumu Kong under her Lord ability, and that's going to be right here. Periodic increases faction team members' damage and healing bonus by 50% for 20 seconds. The more faction allies are on a team, the more frequently it takes effect. When a faction ally member healed, their damage will increase by 25% for 10 seconds. So pretty much they're getting a massive damage boost almost all the time. It's really cool. And then also here on Divine Grace, restores 10% rage for all allies in range immediately. Afterward, applies rage regen to them. Every 1 second for 10 seconds, the effect doesn't affect the hero's rage. So the big chunk of 10% is what we're really looking for here. Ireless is already offering a global rage regen. This rage regen, I don't know if it's higher, but if it is, it'll take effect over Ireless's. But yeah, that's pretty much what she's bringing along with some healing. The extra added damage, those abilities coming off of the artifact. It's very crucial. Okay, so now obviously Kigiri, we all know what he's bringing, right? He's bringing the damage. So on his talent here, he can do an Ember Strike, and this is what we're really focused on. Awaken level 5 Kigiri is just in my opinion, he's the highest damage dealer, the best damage dealer in the game. If he can get on the field and he can hit the target that you want to hit, doesn't matter if it's single target, AoEs, it's Kigiri is going to be on the top end. Nobody's coming above him. I just don't personally believe that. But he's also bringing bleed. Deals continuous true damage equal to 1% of the target's max HP per second. Increases their physical damage taken by 10%. So all the physical damage dealers on the team are going to be giving the boss or whatever you're going up against an extra 10% damage. Bleed is amazing. And obviously on his ultimate here, Tranquil Reflection, he's going to sheathe his sword. If you do it within the first 25% of the ultimate, he gets hit and unsheathes, he's going to do an Ember Strike. If it's after that, he's going to do a Sleeping Strike. They are different. Sleeping Strike is going to do a little bit less damage, and the Ember Strike is going to do a little bit more. When you awaken him up a little bit higher, he's going to also do the Swallow counter guaranteed at awaken level 5. That Swallow counter is going to be right here. When Sleeping Strike or Ember Strike end, there's a 25% chance to immediately launch an identical strike in the opposite direction. Basically, he sheathes, gets hit, he's going to go forward, he's going to strike, and then on the way back, he's going to strike before he comes back to his platform, or before he comes back to the tile that he's on. That's what Swallow counter is doing. Awaken 5 is going to make that automatically happen, 100% chance. And it's just unbelievable amount of damage. Then we have a Sun Wukong, and as far as utility goes for Sun Wukong in the guild boss from Nightmare 4, it's just not really there. He's going to be bringing a lot of damage is what he's going to be. He's be another massive damage dealer, okay? He can do things in the earlier game where if there's a hero in his range, he can keep them alive. I think he gives them unyielding and awaken level 5 here, I think. Here, not the might stack cap. No, it's going to be awaken level 3. Oh, it's awaken level 1. He's going to give them monkey business, prevents death 1 time. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with awakenings. But yeah, otherwise he has stuns and he has a bunch of cool stuff in there. But really, what he's doing is going to be doing this massive ultimate here, and he has just more and more damage on here on his artifact, as well as some rage regen, making him do even some more damage. And he's going to be able to do that almost like twice the rate as on the awaken level 5. So he is a massive damage dealer. He's up there. Obviously, I would say that he's right there next to Kigiri. A lot of people argue that Sun Wukong is better than Kigiri. I beg to differ, but that's another story. Now, Irilys is bringing some healing. She's going to be bringing some damage reductions. She's going to be bringing a good amount of support. She also, the reason I say her awakenings make a big difference is this damage increase that comes in to the heroes that have Serene Breath, right? So awaken level 3, she's going to give that off at a plus 50%, and that could help a little bit more with the consistency of the damage increases, but it is what it is. I digress. She's just kind of bringing the rage regen and the heals for the most part, honestly. All right, now we can see we have the Infernal Blast squad down on the bottom side. Now this can be replaced if you guys wanted to try. I'm not going to show that in this video, but if you go for Nastia, Vorn, and Numera team, you can pretty much do the exact same thing, right? Except Numera is going to be the bigger damage dealer versus Hex, and then Vorn is going to replace Lord Phineas, and Nasty obviously going to replace Soul Cadence. And it's set up the same way, okay? So, but with Soul Cadence here, I do have Awaken level 2, but the real big one is going to be that Awaken level 1. He's going to put out vulnerability to physical damage and vulnerability to magic damage on his ultimate whenever he triggers it. So you want this to trigger a lot. The Awaken level 3 is for everyone burning on targets, increases the hero's damage by 5% up to 35%. This is where I said that the Awaken 3 could make a huge difference in my damage. Might push me over the top, to be honest with you. Extra 35% coming out of Soul Cadence would be massive. Now he does this Hell Breaks Loose here, which is kind of part of his ultimate and the Feast of Devastation Lord skill. He's going to give his faction team members penetration increase. They all kind of come together. You guys have all seen it with Pyros and Twin Fiend. It all kind of the same thing. He just takes a little bit more of the damage for himself, and he also is a little bit better at it. So penetration increase, basically the team gathers up their power together. They all halt for a moment while he charges up and he hits the boss with a meteor. Does a ton of damage. Very cool Lord. I think at this point he's probably kind of underrated these days. I don't know why people don't want to chase him more often, but if you need a boss killer, he's going to be your guy. He does a really good job at it. definitely that. And he's also really good at busting shields. And of course, we have our A5 Hex as well, which is the A5 Hex is insane. But when it really breaks down to it, it's a lot to do with that artifact, right? The Suture of Caprice increases single target damage by 30%. That's amazing. And then can rapidly draw cards during the ultimate. So while he's in his ultimate, he's going to be a little bit faster at drawing cards. He's going to be doing more damage, a lot more damage. Suture of Caprice is still considered one of the best artifacts in the game, especially exclusive artifacts in the game. But yes, on his ultimate here, he has the chance to draw the Joker. He's very, very much a single target damage dealer, but he's also one of my favorites as well. I put a lot into Hex. I love Hex. And when you go over to his awakenings, one of the real important ones is going to be the awakening level 3. During the effect of Mad Truth, performing basic attack against targets inflicted with burning extends the duration of Mad Truth by 1 second, up to a maximum increase of 30 seconds. This is going to allow him to pretty much stay in his ultimate full time. If he's always locked on a target during his ultimate and he's just doing his thing, he should stay in his ultimate darn near the full time. Mine typically, without any rage regen boost from a Laurel or something like that, typically comes back and 95% of his ultimate's ready by the time he ends his last one. And sometimes it's just ready. Depends on how fast he draws cards. Alright, Lord Phineas. Lord Phineas is doing a lot of amazing things. He has these damage increases, or the crit damage increases. He just does a ton of damage with this Devil's Den. He does bring a damage reduction as well as penetration. His awakenings get very, very strong on the awaken level 3. An infernal ally uses their ultimate, the talent switches to granting crit damage increase to them of plus 50% compared to, I think it is the 30%, which is going to be right here, or 25%. So it doubles the crit damage boost to his faction allies. So he is just doing a load of damage. That's basically what's going on. He's putting out burns, he's hitting really hard with he has these stacks of Viscount's Flame, etc, etc, etc. His artifact is also important, increases damage against targets affected with burning by 30%. That's where that damage reduction comes in as well. Basic attack inflicts 15% damage reduction on targets for 3 seconds, and Blade of Treachery inflicts 30% damage reduction on targets for 3 seconds. This is one of the reasons that he's really good for APOC 2, Abyss 1, and any kind of, hard-hitting boss that you're struggling with. And then here is the fancy little trick that we have to talk about a little bit today here. We have Durza. Durza is very, very unique. He's an inspiration unit, and even though he's not within one of these two factions, he is phenomenal pairing up with our boy Kigiri. So the thing is, he causes HP drain equal to 50% of the target current HP to allies in range. When he does the Sanguine Rite, he actually triggers Kigiri's Unsheathing or Ember Strike, Sleeping Strike. So it kind of makes it so you can use Kigiri whenever you want to instead of always having to wait. Now, as long as his ultimate's going and you time it just right, Kigiri should activate if you decide to use his ultimate during Sanguine Rite. So that's something to keep in mind. So he's also doing this attack speed increase of plus 100. He has the vulnerabilities on the boss during Sanguine Rite of magic damage taken plus 20% and physical as well. And then here it is, he applies a 40% inspiration during Sanguine Rite. And if the ally's HP does drop below 75%, he does apply a 30% damage increase. So we have damage increase coming in from all over the place. It's just whether or not they're all activated at the right time. So there could be a little bit of RNG in the run. And on his awakenings, I would say that the A1 for this team is pretty important for the extra rage. It'd be nice to get that awakening level 3 where other allies gain this extra 1% rage per second. But I don't think that that really applies in this team because we are running Ireless with the global rage gen. So the highest is just going to take priority anyways. So awakenings here aren't really all that important. Let's get into the fight. You guys heard me ramble on about this team for quite long enough. But before we do, I do want to show you a little example of Durza and Kigiri doing their thing, okay? It's pretty straightforward, guys. One of the coolest things that I use all of the time when I need to activate Kigiri and he's just not getting hit, but I want him to do his Ember Strike. Alright, so let's just go ahead and put down Kigiri. Let's put down our Durza. And then we're going to add Ireless just to make sure that they stay alive. Alright, so here we go. I'll wait for Durza's ultimate to become available, which is going to be after the first Infernal Roar hit, which is what we want anyways. And I don't think this puts out burns. No, it doesn't. Alright, so I'm going to activate Durza, and there's going to be a little bit of delay before his ultimate goes off. I'll activate Durza, and then I'll activate Kigiri. You're going to watch. He's going to trigger Kigiri's ultimate, and he's going to go in there with an Ember Strike and do right around, you know, 15, 20 million damage just from the one hit. He's insane. He's insane. I love it. I love it. Anyways, let's restart this over here. Get back into it again, and then I'll show you the fight. And this is like one of the easiest teams I've ever ran, to be honest with you, because I'm not cycling out Laurel. You can, and there's ways to do that as well. And I'm sure you've probably seen plenty of videos cycling out Laurel and running your Volca with the team. We're running with 8 players here, right? All right, so let's get this team set up. Kigiri. We're gonna have Durza in Wings of Grace, so he's gonna be prioritizing Kigiri. Like I said, no matter what you say, Kigiri is going to end up doing more damage, and there's no magic trick behind it. It's not just disappearing damage on Sun Wukong, it's just that Kigiri does more damage. All right, we're going into Sun Wukong. Next, he's getting the next priority. We're going to hit him with Ireless for the invigoration boost as well. And then we're going to go ahead and focus on Hex, because Hex is going to be the next biggest damage dealer. And then we're going to put, come on Hex, there you go. And then we're going to put Leia facing to the right to make sure that he can heal up Lord Phineas, who's going to sit here on the ground right here. All right, so then we're going to just place down Lord Phineas there, and we're going to place Soul Cadence right here. Now let me change my view here. All right. Yep, that's good. It's pretty straightforward starting off here. We are going to activate Kigiri when the Infernal Roar hits. That's not going to hurt anything. Activate our Hex and also activate Durza and then Sun Wukong. Wait for Durza to go before you activate Sun Wukong. I forgot that Soul Cadence is in his ultimate. So right when he gets right about to the shoulder spot here, you can activate Hex and Lord Phineas. That's basically they're locked out until it gets to that point. There you go, see? Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna it's kind of just like activating everybody when they're ready. Just kind of use your head and get through the fight here. When you get to Kigiri, you can use them during the ultimate or when the enemy is going to hit you with an Infernal Roar, or you can try to time it with Durza. Either way, you want to get it off as soon as you possibly can, but make sure that there's only a little bit of time left here before activating. That way you make sure you ensure an Ember Strike and not a Sleeping Strike. You want the higher damage. Sun Wukong, you're just gonna launch him whenever he's ready. If Durza is about to be ready, go ahead and wait a little bit to get Sun Wukong's ultimate off. Alright, so pretty straightforward here. Activate Durza, he's up. Hit it. Why not? Don't really need to worry about that. Now, if Durza's in his ultimate, like I said, Kigiri can activate during the vulnerability phase of the boss, so when the shield goes down. That's what makes this so important, is that there's an extra vulnerability that the boss puts up when his shield breaks, and you go into this spot, and then you can use Durza to get Kigiri to hit him during that time. Alright, let's get this guy going. There you go, see? Just went off, and it wasn't because Durza just activated his ultimate, it does it during the whole time. It'll kind of randomly tick. And that gets his ultimate to activate. Now remember, Leia has a chance to put up attack speed increase, the crit damage increase, the rage increase. So it's kind of hard to tell which one it's going to do. You just kind of roll with it, see what happens. Okay, now Durza is about to be ready timed with Kigiri, so let's get them going. And start Durza, go with Kigiri, and then activate Sun Wukong as soon as Durza is going. There you go. Big damage already. First shield is down. We're about to pop that 50k already. Good progress, good progress. You can see Hex just comes around as ultimate. He's back right away. We get the rage regen boost from Leia. He gets the rage regen boost from Ireless, from the global, and it's enough to bring him to come back. Okay, so he'd stay in his ultimate pretty much the whole time. Now, Soul Cadence does kind of steal damage from these other guys, so that's something you guys got to keep in mind. Here's another issue you might want to keep in mind as well. Kigiri's not going to receive any damage for a little bit here, and we don't want to activate Kigiri when he's not going to receive any damage. There is some random ground damage in the boss, so what do we do now? So if I hit Leia, she's not going to give 10% rage regen to Kigiri or Sun Wukong at the same time. It's just not worth waiting, so I'm going to go ahead and hit her, wait a couple seconds, and activate Sun Wukong. Hopefully he gets that damage boost as well. We're going to hit him, And now we're gonna go with Kigiri. Got hit by the meteor coming down. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be perfect. I'm trying to make this as straightforward as I can, and you'll see more about that when we get to the gear. Because we're not using cycling, so we're using a lot of rage regen on heroes, but not too much. They're not all boosted up with crazy amount of rage. Okay, so now we're going to wait on our Kigiri here. I have to hold. What else can I do, right? Again, activate Leia. I should give Durza the boost he needs, start him up, get Kigiri going, hit during that vulnerability phase. Kigiri's sitting over 250 million right now. It's just insane. It's just insane. It's already beating Sumo Kong right about by 60. I should just make a video of like top 10 reasons why Kigiri's better than Sumo Kong. Make no mistake about it, I love Sumo Kong too. These are the two heroes that I always bring out on the field if I have. It's the ones I look to first. Like, can I get Kigiri out there? Can I use them? Can I use Sumo Kong on there? These two guys are the ones that I go with. I'm holding off on Kigiri right now. I am going to go ahead and use Durza to activate. Right, there you go. Ooh, I messed that up. That's okay. We'll just deal with it. Oh, got the damage anyways. Just in time. Alright, so yeah, just kind of time things the best you can throughout the fight and keep pushing the number. I'd like to see some of the damage numbers that you guys can push out. If you guys want to try to beat my score, go for it. It would be really interesting to see what people can come up with. But you can see it's a very stress-free fight. It's nothing too crazy going on. I would say if you're running around with A5 Hex, you're not exactly struggling to get yourself 50k. I've shown that Hex can do that with just the right support heroes around him all by himself, so I wouldn't be too surprised if you guys are like, well, yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But I find it interesting, you know? I find it interesting. Same thing, Durza wasn't his ultimate, so I just decided to activate Kigiri, hit him with the vulnerability. 350 million we're sitting at right now. Get Hex going again. Go ahead with Sumo Kong. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that we gotten to this point, honestly. I don't even know what to say sometimes. It's like, the amount of damage that we can do on these old bosses, you go back and look, and some of you might be struggling with this too, and I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, it's just insane. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and activate Leia. Wait a second, activate Sumo Kong. He should apply that boost. Did he get anything? Damage plus 15%, the attack speed plus 100, attack plus 12, that's from the Invigoration, I think. It must have been from a Wings of Grace set. Yeah. Inspirations up there, everything's just kind of coming together right. You can see we have the movement speed, or he's got the slow, he's got the received burning damage increase, it just adds up left and right. We're gonna use our Durza again to get this guy going, and then we'll activate everybody else as well. 30 seconds left. A lot of damage can happen, guys, in a little bit of time. Oh no, come on. Let's go, Phineas. Alright, there we go. 161k blood right now. Kigiri's sitting up right around 478 million. This should pop him over 5. There we go. I think. I'm gonna leave him off for now. Let Hex do his thing so he doesn't lock him up. There you go, over 500k. Look at that. 500 million damage coming out of Kigiri. Whew. Look at that. 172k blood. Like I said, the highest is 220 right now on global. And Kigiri is showing 495. I don't know why those numbers always change. I did have him over 500 before. We have Sumo Kong sitting at 398. We have Hex sitting at 295. Slow Cadence sitting at 254, and actually Hex will sit right around 350 to 400 range if Slow Cadence isn't stealing all of damage. If you want to run Twin Fiend just to see his damage go higher, you can do that, but at the same time Twin Fiend isn't going to put out 254 million either. So, and then we have Lord Phineas at 170 or 197, and then Durza is doing a little bit of damage as well. And there's not a lot of healing going on. There's just enough healing going on to get him taken care of, I guess. There's not much damage coming in. So let's check out the gear here and see what we have going on. We're going to start with Leia. I'm going to save Kigiri and Sumokong for last. Leia, Invigoration, and the Light Grace set. I'm not even running her exclusive. I'm just running really high rage and really high attack speed with some attack. That's all you really need to worry about. You can have healing effect down there instead of a main stat. Attack speed, rage regen. Attack speed, main stat with high rage regen. Rage regen main stat with high attack speed. That's all we're really looking for. We're coming in at a total of 10.7k attack, and then we have 1.4 second attack interval with the massive 159.5% rage regen. It does fall off a little bit after 120%. It really starts to dwindle down how much it actually gives you back, so that's something to keep in mind. You could probably get away with 120, but try to boost it up as high as you can. And then we have her euphonic coronet on her artifact. Ireless is just healing and offering an inspiration, and she's sitting in a Wings of Grace set and a Lights Grace set on the left side. Same thing, attack speed, rage regen, healing effect, attack bonus, attack speed, rage regen, healing effect would be ideal. We have attack speed one here. We have a healing effect one here with the Watch Guard exclusive, just because she doesn't really need anything too fancy. Honestly, a euphoric orb to help with some more attack speed, increase attack speed of all heroes in range by 30 every 60 seconds, lasting for 40. So 2/3 of the fight they have an extra 30 attack speed. All right, so Soul Kittens, you're probably expecting a lot of rage. Well, he has 40% rage. It's nothing too crazy. Soul Arcana set on the right side. Attack bonus, attack speed, crit damage, rage regen. This one is a crit damage piece, looking for flat attack. This one is going to be a crit damage piece with a rage regen. Then we have on the left side with quad rolls. This is something that's really changed a lot in this game as well. And then we have quad rolls, but with flat attack instead of attack speed. Sometimes having the attack boost is nice. I'm also just I only have two quad rolls on the breastplate for Wicked Vengeance. Total stats is coming in at 16.7. 16 to 16.5 is where you want your attack to be on Guild Boss 1 Nightmare 4. And then 428% crit damage, 42% rage. And then we have a Tear of Twilight, and yes, it is boosted a little bit. Alright, on to Hex. Hex's build is a little more specific. We're going to go with his exclusive here on the left side. Just because during the ultimate increases penetration by 5%. Helps him out. Quad roll. Quad roll on the breastplate. And then we have crit damage, attack bonus, and crit damage. And we're going for flat attack on each one. You can see 0% rage regen, and you saw in the fight that his ultimate stayed going the whole time. We do have a Suture Caprice on his artifact, boosted a little bit as well. And then the total stats is the same thing. We're right around 16k, 15.92. We have 426% crit damage and 1.1 second attack interval. He could be a little faster, actually. All right, on to Lord Phineas. Lord Phineas running a Soul Arcana set. This is actually, oh, it has aggression on it. Nice. Attack bonus. Quad roll with rage regen. Crit damage. Quad roll with rage regen. Attack bonus. Quad roll with rage regen. I'm trying to keep his rage going as best I can. I want him in his ultimate almost as often as possible. His ultimate takes a long time to come back. Then we have a quad roll here. Attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage with rage regen. And then we have a quad roll here. Attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and rage regen. And this puts him at 105% crit or rage regen. And his ultimate is, I don't know what, it seems like it takes so long to come back. So I just like to have that high rage to make sure he's in his ultimate doing a ton of damage. Total stats though, he is coming in at 26.7k attack, 380.5% rate or crit damage. He could use a little bit more crit damage, so another crit damage piece would be nice actually. And then rage regen is at 105%. And we do have his mark of Mask of Dark Desire with extra 425 attack. Very nice. All right, Durza. Invigoration. You're going to build him like an inspiration unit, except you want to get more attack speed and you want to get more rage regen. So attack bonus, flat attack speed, rage regen across the board. That's what you want here, okay? If you can do it, just do as much attack as you can. Make sure you got attack speed and rage regen. The faster he hits, the more he's building up rage. The more he's building up rage, the more he's going to come back into Sanguine Rite. The more he's doing Sanguine Rite, the more he's going to be giving off that inspiration and everything else that he's doing, okay? All right, on the left side, you want to go with Warlord because of the higher attack bonus here of 25%. And then you're looking for attack speed, rage regen, attack bonus. Priority would be attack bonus. Same thing here, attack bonus, attack speed, rage regen. His build's really simple to be able to do this. Tear of Twilight on the artifact, extra 315 attack coming out there. This is the best for him. I know it might be tempting to use a, what are you going to call it here? A Nightmare Samsara, but just don't. You don't need to come back to the ultimate that often. We also have the White Tower Trinket if you don't have any Tear of Twilights. This will get you by, but a level 10 tier is going to be better. Alright, now on to the big boys here. Sun Wukong. Check out their build. Crit damage, attack speed, crit rate, attack bonus, and rage regen. Now I'm going to understand that, like I said, when you see Kigiri's build, you're going to understand he's got a little bit better of a build. But I wanted to keep Sun Wukong's rage regen nice and high so he comes back to his ultimate much more often. Attack bonus, attack speed, crit rate, crit damage, and rage regen. Attack bonus, attack speed, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage, and rage regen. He's got about the same, so obviously he's going to have rage regen as well. Crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus, attack speed. And then on the breastplate, we're going for attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and rage regen. And his artifact is maxed out with an extra 700 attack, and he also has a attack speed of plus 35. Total stats, he's coming in at 24k attack, 1.4 second attack interval, 374 crit damage, and 100.5% rage regen. And since Kigiri's right here, let's get to our main event here. Get the artifact out of the way. He does have an 185 boost on his artifact, an extra 5.6% attack percentage as well. And then we're going slow Arcana set. Attack bonus. Nice 4.5% roll there. Crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, and rage regen. And then we have attack bonus. Nice 3.7% roll. Crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, and flat attack. And then we have a crit damage piece here with 4.5% extra. Attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed, and rage regen. On the left side, we're going for attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, quad rolls, extra 30. And then we have attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and rage regen. No crit rate here. So this is like kind of the builds you want to try to shoot for. Really high crit rate on all these other pieces. So this one has, you need 25 on each. 25, 50, 75, 100. And you can skip crit rate on one of the pieces, allowing you to go for attack bonus, crit damage, attack speed, and rage regen. Build up that rage a little bit higher. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like this team, let me know down in the comment section down below. Also, if you're using a similar kind of team to get really high scores just for the fun of it, let me know what you're using and what numbers you're getting. I'm very interested to see what people are doing these days. Anyways, I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out prospector.gg and join Discord. Until next time, keep digging.